that we could record this for them. So welcome. First off, thank you so much for jumping in on this with me. This has been so fun already, and we're just into day 3. So you people are so cool. Thank you for doing as many of the checklist things as you can. I never want that to be a heavy burden, more like an opportunity, more like a chance to go, oh, you know, I can fit this in the nooks and crannies, and it doesn't have to be overwhelming or a burden. Okay. I want it to be an encouragement, something that you go, oh, I can keep fitting that and that in from here on out. And it helps me. So, so far, Marty, what have you discovered? Just a few of the takeaways that have been going on for you.
Can I be real? I've been living in some real serious pain. You know, I just had neck surgery and some neurological things going on, and I'm still having trouble. And I swear Shauna's praying some heavy duty prayers on my leg, because for the past 3 days she's been in the closet praying or something, because it hasn't hurt as bad, and it's even raining. You know how your face and joints hurt when it rains? My doctors can't tell me what's wrong. I eat good. I didn't eat good tonight, but I try really hard. It's ridiculous how hard I try for 2 years, and I'm starting to lose weight now that they got some of my thyroid medicine straightened out, and just keep asking my doctors for help, because I'm beyond what I can do. So I waited too long to have surgery on my neck, and I think it messed up some things, but I try really. My husband's a diabetic, and I've been married for 6 years now, and I started trying not to eat sugar because he's a diabetic, and the Prove It really helps me, because I'm not a diabetic. So you got candy sitting there, I can eat it. It makes me hurt now, but you know, I look at it and go, that's going to make me hurt, and I don't want it. And there's not that craving there of, okay, there's Reese's here for my students, but I'm not going to eat 5 of them, you know? So it's kind of nice. And I love cake, and my sister bakes pies, and I don't have any desire to have any of that. And I don't drink Diet Coke. All I drink is my good cup of water and coffee in the morning. So I'm doing pretty good, I think. Good, I couldn't do without my Prove It shake. That's kind of my morning go-to.
I know. I'm a professed addict. Last night we were about to go to bed, and I went, Mark, am I crazy that I'm already looking forward to my blueberry acai? I haven't even gone to bed yet.
I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten there yet, because
no. Well, I didn't get the mail yet today, but not yet. I know our mail's been running crazy. I've heard people on our roads say that they don't even think that we're getting the service every day. So we'll see. It'll get here. Well, but I got that other stuff I'm taking in the meantime, the Young Living Nitro or whatever. I didn't take it the first day because I didn't have any with me up north at my cabin, and it was at home, and I didn't want to take it as late in the day, because it might keep me up at night if I do. Right. But I did take it day 2, and I took it today too. So.
Oh, good.
And I just placed an order to get more.
Awesome. Well, what I sent you, there's a few packets that are caffeinated and a few packets that aren't.
Oh,
so
good.
if you ever find yourself in the afternoon just going, I'm out of energy, then take one of the caffeine-free ones.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If you're out of energy, take the caffeinated one, right?
Right. But see, I am a delayed reaction gal when it comes to caffeine.
Me
so
too.
if I take a caffeinated Prove It after 3, then I'm wondering why I'm laying in bed with my foot doing this.
Yep. I do the same thing.
Why am I not? Usually I fall asleep very easily, very quickly. And that's something the ketones help with as well. It's just shutting me down when I need to shut down.
That's good.
So super grateful. And it keeps me also from wanting sweets. So Annette.
Okay. Well,
you've been doing
physically, I love my sugar, and I was not bad with it before the holidays. And then I did some baking and just didn't really watch what I was doing and limiting myself so much as I should have. And then it just took that short amount of time to feel like the cravings are back now. So it's challenging for me right now. I'm cutting the sugar, but it's really challenging. I'm finding myself like to the point where I'm like, I'm just scrummaging through the pantry looking for something, because even the kids aren't really much into sugar. It's just me. But this has been kind of something that I've battled for a long time, on and off in my life. I'm on sugar for a while, and then I go off, and then I don't have any cravings, and then I, end up having some, and then the cravings come back so horribly. So that's physically. The water, I'm doing pretty well on the water. Um, I I think I had a lot of lemon in my water yesterday, and it didn't set well with me.
Hmm.
It gave me but that was because I had the massage. I was telling you about, I had a massage scheduled, so I wanted to do lemon water after the massage to kind of flush the toxins even better with the lemon water. And it ended up really messing with my tummy, but I'm back to plain water today. But what I'm finding, Shauna, is that I'm finding that I really need to start pinpointing what it is specifically that God wants me to do to make me unstuck. Because I find that I could tell my clients, I could clearly decipher what's going on, and kind of, share with them some things and encourage them in certain areas. But it's not so easy with myself identifying it, and then even identifying it. If I can't even identify it, then how am I going to even come up with some kind of a plan to work through that? So these first 3 days have been helpful, because I'm finding something all 3 of those days, and I'm like, that's me. Oh yeah, that's me too. Oh yeah, that's me too.
I just added something to the group chat, because
okay.
something you mentioned just before we leave, the physical realm behind, you were talking about water intake, and that lemon didn't settle with your stomach very well. I sent you some samples of the Mitoplex, which is an electrolyte supplement, and it has a lot of other minerals in it. You may really find that'll make a difference. But also, if you have a local health food store, there is an electrolyte supplement called Ultima, Ultima, and you can get that from Amazon. You can find it at a health food store. But that will not only help you drink more water, but as you're taking ketones, they are flushing your system, and you will be flushing out minerals with the waste. It's like you'll be detoxing, and minerals just go with it: the potassium, the electrolytes, the magnesium. So having a good, yummy, but not sugar-filled electrolyte supplement is really going to help you.
Okay, good. I will get that from my friend, my good friend.
Water. It'll help you replenish what you're losing.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so electrolyte supplement Ultima, ULTIMA.
Ultimate
okay, got it.
Replenisher is what they call it on Amazon. But yeah, you should be getting. I sent you 3 packets of the Mitoplex. I love that stuff. I don't know if you've had it much, Marty, but I love the Ultima because the flavor's good and it does replenish me. The Mitoplex just is like life. I can be fighting a headache. I can be feeling depleted. And sometimes I'll think, oh, well, I need another ketone, or I need to eat. But if I will stop and do the Mitoplex with water, and it's just a wonderful citrus flavor, it's amazing. It's like I can feel, it's like the circulation behind my eyes will kind of go, and it'll stop that ache so yeah, you'll love it. You'll love it.
Awesome.
So getting back to what you were talking about spiritually. Yes, ma'am. Marty.
I do the Mitoplex every day too, but I put it in my Prove It shake with a little bit of almond milk and mostly water in that, because I'm a teacher and I can, but I choose not to drink a lot because I'll have to go to the bathroom and there's no one around to relieve me.
Yeah. So I do that to classroom.
I do that to stay hydrated, because I get dehydrated really fast because I don't drink enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it.
Oh yeah. Do you do the plain or the citrus?
There's some flavors I don't like, so I'm scared to try anything, but I'm doing the plain, and that's why I'm sticking it in my Prove It shake. Mm-hmm. We are all hooked on strawberry over here, all 3 of us.
That's strawberry peach.
That's all we have. I'm like, don't you want something else, guys? Mix it up. Nope, we want that.
Yeah, we're stuck on the blueberry acai and the strawberry peach. So those are amazing. But if you ever get the orange Mitoplex and the strawberry peach, Amanda and I both have gone, that's my favorite combination. And you can
Wow.
big old
Mixing it.
like 30 some odd ounces, put those two together and then just ice water and just sip on that. And it's,
Yum.
Have to try that one.
yeah, it's awesome. So back to the spiritual aspect of things. Do you feel like there's been anything sort of beginning to unravel or unlock or eye-opening that's going on for you, Annette?
Yes. One of the things that I feel like I'm have pinpointed through our conversation that first day and also through the videos and my reflection and prayer is that God's trying to get my attention to have me heal in my identity
Mm,
so that I am seeing myself as he does instead of seeing myself based on past wounds or what someone has done to me or said to me, or maybe even self-condemnation from mistakes I've made or whatever. So that's like the theme of what I'm seeing so far. And I'm grateful for that. I so welcome that because it's been far too long that I feel like I've been stuck here. And
mhm.
and what's funny is I I I never actually, I don't know. If you would have asked me before all this, if you would have asked me, do you struggle with this, I probably would have just said no as a quick answer.
Mhm.
So it's just been an eye opener for me to go from that's not me to oh my gosh, this is me.
Yeah, I know that
Yeah.
feeling. Because I hide the truth from myself very well.
Yeah.
I notice other people. I try to be empathetic toward other people. I'm very grace-filled toward other people.
Yeah.
But Marty has probably seen this in me over the years. I can flog the hell out of myself
Yeah. Me
for
too. Yeah.
shortcomings. I've been a Christian this long. I shouldn't be dealing with that anymore. I should know better. How can I, just that awful cycle. So I've been discovering a
Yep.
lot of that
Mm-hmm.
coming up in me. It's just like the heat turns on and it just kind of keeps coming to the surface and you think, oh, good, that's been dealt with. And then a few weeks later, hello, there's more crap coming to the surface. So God's just that good. He keeps healing.
Yeah.
He keeps on setting us free and sanctifying and freeing. So that's good to hear.
Yes,
It's really
it
good
is.
to hear.
I still kind of, I just wonder what the road is ahead. Of course, I want a quick fix, a quick heal. I'm like, I want to learn this, I want to get it, and I want to move on. But I just know that sometimes that's depending on me and how much I'm willing to yield to that, to what the Spirit is saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, just trying to put my own agenda aside and just see what God's agenda is. And it's all for the purpose of wanting to be effective these days, in this day where we're living. I'm not going to be worth beans to my clients or my friends or family or people as
Mm-hmm.
we're supposed to be telling others about Christ if I'm still wounded in these areas that I'm struggling in.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that there's going to, I believe there's power in testimony. And I believe that that's one thing that I do as a Christian counselor that you can't really do in secular counseling is you can share your testimony.
Right.
When you're a secular counselor, they tell you don't share anything personal. Well, as a believer, yes, I'm going to share with you how God brought me through this and what he did and whatever.
Yeah. And as a believer, we can ask for God's help. We don't have
Yeah.
to be atheist and go,
Yeah.
okay, here's your therapy.
Oh.
We're going to talk you through this. And sometimes God just kind of goes, maybe you should just let me perform surgery where you don't even have to see. And I can just make you better in this area.
Yeah.
He's just so kind. And that's one thing I wanted to make this like 10 days is so we can have an intensity and an intentionality of this short time to see what God can do as we aim really hard, support each other together physical, mental, spiritual, so we can move forward, because we need to be fighting trim, for whatever words you would use. We need to be battle ready
Yeah.
in every way. And like you said, if we're sitting back, licking our wounds, frustrated, defeated, stuck, too many people in the world are literally dying every day
Yeah.
without Christ. And for us to do what we've been put here to do, I just, our heart's cry is to be more like Jesus.
Yeah.
If we're free, and if we are coming from a place, if I'm so filled with his love, I can easily overflow instead of walking wounded. How have the messages in the morning, has anything really connected with you, Marty?
Ouch. I struggle with time, so it's really hard when I'm teaching during the week to do anything extra. So I've been listening to a little bit here, a little bit there, and then on my way to work. And I don't know, I can relate a lot to what you're saying. Every time you say breaking chains, I think of that song by Mary Mary. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. I'd probably know it if I heard it.
Yeah. It's just, chains are a big deal. And I think God doesn't cut them all at one time, like you say, Annette. I think he only gives you a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. And I just want to fix it now. Just give it to me all now. I don't want to do this in 5 years or 10 years or whatever. And, I think there's a lot where you could look in on yourself and try to change or get help or ask God, what am I doing, that's not pleasing you, God. I spent all weekend making myself sick watching all the stuff on the side with the election, with all the fear and the stuff that happens, and my husband don't want to hear it. My family don't want to hear it. I got nobody to talk to about it except my sister, and she makes me ill because she knows too much.
And you sent some things to me, and I sent some things back to you, and we probably encouraged each other to feel a little bit sick about the whole thing. So
that's when you're just, I don't want to live like my mom and just have my eyes shut. I love her, she's awesome, but she sometimes just closes her eyes and sticks her head in a hole. And I don't want to be that way. I want to know. I mean, nobody knows, but I don't know, listening to I want to call it a sermon because it was like a mini sermon. I felt like, at Sunday school, and the sermon was about focus on God, don't focus on everything else. And you were kind of pointing us back to God, focus on God, because anything else is an idol. Worrying is an idol. You're making it an idol. I forgot what you said was an idol, but it was interesting to me because I don't think of whatever it was you were saying was an idol as an idol. It was like, whoa,
anything that we allow to control us. Remember Peter Marshall I talked about before, Peter Marshall Jr.? His definition was whatever I think about the most, whatever I talk about the most, whatever controls my emotions, that is my God. For some people, it's the wristwatch or the phone. And a lot of times for me, I know it can be people's opinions. Am I being approved of? I love to make people happy. I don't want to choose to be contentious or argumentative. I just don't like to argue. I'd rather find common ground and let's celebrate that. Yay. But we're kind of in the middle of a world that doesn't really want to agree with anything, and they want to keep dividing and just separating and making enemies of everybody, because after a while there's no common ground left when you just keep slicing it up. But yeah, I do feel it's very, very important that we find our worth, our identity, our hope, our authority, our meaning through what God says about us.
Yeah.
And that's why it's such a chore to manually, turn our brain and aim it with everything in us at his words, at his heart, at his love. And I mean, I admit, I love to pray. I love my time with God. But often, if I was sitting there with a timer, it's like 30 or 40 minutes later, I break through the cloud of all the confusion, all the noise, all the crap, all the getting a little frustrated, and somebody said something that was a dig, and it can be hard. So that's why I did put on the little checklist, thoughts, words.
Oh, yes.
What are we focusing on? Because that can absolutely make or break what's going
That's
on
big.
physically, mentally, spiritually.
That's really big for me too. I like I said, I've been teaching stuff to people, been counseling for 25 years and helping others with their thought life.
Mhm.
And then, so then it's a twofold thing. First of all, I'm struggling with my own thought life, and I'm seeing how I will let a negative thought get in there and plant itself and just go and go and go. And before you know it, this little thing is this big giant thing, you know? So then there's a twofold thing, because then I get upset with myself because I'm like, Annette, you know better, you
Mhm.
know? So I get hard on myself. So it's like this vicious cycle.
Condemnation
But
joins in with guilt,
yes,
frustration. Yeah,
yes.
I get it.
So I've been trying intentionally these last couple days, and yesterday was an example. And you know, I live in Michigan. I'm going to be honest. I like seasons, but I don't love it here. I don't love the winter, the long winters, the gray skies, blah blah blah. I'm not going to try to like keep complaining about it, but I'm here. This is where I am right now at this season of my life, and you know, I have plans, kind of looking at different plans. We'll see, whatever. But yesterday we got some snow, and I was going somewhere last night in my car, and I went out and it's full of snow and the wind is blowing, and my immediate response was to murmur about it. And I caught myself, just because I'm reminding myself these last, well, it was only 2 days at that point, but I was reminding myself. So I caught myself and I said, oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, find the
The snow's so
silver lining.
Might as well just love it and find the beauty in it, you know?
Right, right.
So
How have you guys been doing with being able to get some activity in of some sort?
I didn't want to take the whole conversation. I haven't done it yet today, but the last 2 days I only did dancing. I
Mm.
mean, I love to dance. I even bought tap shoes.
Fun.
I love the childlikeness of that. That's why I've been wearing my hair in a top knot lately. And my mother used to fix my hair like this when I was 4 years old.
It's cute. It's cute. I
A
like
great
it.
waterfall.
Thank you.
Sometimes I gotta get
The
rid of this
blessing.
heavy stuff. So sometimes I put that up there too. But today is just kind of a bad hair day because I went out in the snow and it got all wet. But yeah,
Well, that's beautiful,
um,
because when you're dancing and you're worshiping and you're having fun, that's kind of those 2 or 3 birds with one stone thing.
yeah,
Because you're getting
yeah.
your activity in, you're keeping yourself up and positive, and getting some movement going just kind of gets the endorphins going through your body. I
Mhm.
will admit that's a factor that I've really been struggling with, because I just get busy with other stuff, planning this stuff and taking care of McKenna. And then by the time I'm finally done with everything at the end of the night, you kind of go,
Yeah,
and I just want to eat something, hang out with the family, not think anymore.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
so I really have to force myself to either get out early in the morning and go walk, or, you know, get the dog out, or just like you said, put on music and dance some, because that
Mhm.
makes all the difference in the world. It's funny, you can
Mhm.
get your body moving and get some activity going, and then those things that seemed so huge before have just minimized or even completely are off the plate. It's pretty cool.
Mhm.
We aren't just spirit, soul,
Yeah,
body. We're spirit, soul, body. So it's all
yeah.
intertwined. That's my big scientific explanation. And
I like that.
body.
When we were young, she and her sister used to run all over Valley View. I don't know how they did it. They'd run miles and miles and miles and miles. My kids are all athletic, but I'm not. I guess Kendall's not. But, with all the pain I'm having, it's hard to exercise. I'm not making excuses, I promise. But I was at a gym before COVID. I actually joined, and Kendall would go with me. We were having fun because, she helps me do the weights or whatever I want to do, and kind of coaches me, and it encourages us both to go. My 26-year-old daughter lives down the street. And Steven's like, I don't want you there. I don't want you there. They have this hydro bed. Oh my gosh. That is worth the half of your hour that you go to that hydro bed. I can't get off of it. So Kendall has to be with me, or I'll have to whistle for the guy to come get me up if I get stuck. But I'm clumsy again with my feet, so it's frustrating because I don't want to walk, and I don't want to go anywhere like the mall or Sam's or Walmart, because I don't want to. If I do go to the store, I walk around about 10 times up and down the aisles. It's just frustrating with COVID.
Yeah, it is. How I'm really having a hard time with COVID. I don't know. I'm just not someone that can stay cooped up all the time. And we have no restaurants open,
Oh my God.
nothing, we haven't had I haven't had restaurant food in so long, and I love to go out to eat.
Our family loves to go to the movie theater every now and then.
Movie theaters, yeah. I don't even know if the movie theaters open. I think they open casinos. I mean, why a casino? I mean, why not a restaurant, but a casino? I don't know. I don't
Oh,
get
and in
it, but
California, but you can't go have church. So,
yeah.
any
But
other
anyway,
comments? Anything that you can help me with? Any feedback? Anything you wish was a little different, or that you need more of, or you're too bugged by too many texts? I mean, tell me what you think.
If I didn't know you, I would think, gosh, she's so perfect. She has the perfect body, the perfect little family. She's in California. It's so pretty there. Y'all have money. We've been through seasons of not having money. It's very hard. And just the fact that
did you know my husband is basically unemployed right now?
Is he really?
Yeah.
But y'all still have.
Well,
your needs are met.
Yes, he's also been selling pretty much everything that isn't nailed down, and with a lot of gear and music equipment and things like that, he's got things that he's like, I'm not using that right now. Sell it, buy food.
Wow.
So he's just very proactive.
I thought he got a job with someone. Is he?
He's been on a movie, a major motion picture. First time he's lead editor on it, but they put it on hiatus about a month ago, and then maybe bringing it back, February, March. So in the meantime, he's like, well, I'm going to sell everything that's not nailed down and keep the feelers out, because that's just the ebb and flow of the industry in California, especially now, because COVID's interrupted everything. But yeah, and with, I could go on about, no, things are not perfect. And California being what it is right now, it's more challenging than ever to live here. And yet God is always good. And it's not hard to find something to be really grateful for, even when my oldest daughter has been cooped up and really not able to have her own life for a year ago, March. So all that to say, please don't, I'm glad you know me.
Well, I see 56 seconds. I don't want to say this on record.
Okay.
Just knowing you like I do, I think it's neat that you keep it real, and you're very real with your feelings and emotions, and sometimes they're raw. And I think it makes me feel like a normal human, because sometimes people put on this fake plastic. You know what I'm talking about? I am not a Barbie doll, and I'm just going to be real no matter what. You like it or don't. I'm just going to be real, and I'm going to love people, and you do that. And I think it shows, and it's beautiful. And I love that about you. That you keep it real.
I really want this group to be that moving forward, a safe place and a place where we can support each other. Your strengths help my weaknesses and vice versa. And where we struggle, we have community, we have support to get us through. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to take up all your time. I know you have somewhere to be, Marty, and Annette, I thank you so much for joining in when it's kind of later in the day.
My pleasure. I'm thankful for this group. I'm thankful for meeting you and this group, and just it's opening my eyes, and I so needed this.
Me too. I did too. I did this as probably 50% for me. I love you guys, and I'm glad to support, but I needed this focus to force myself to stay focused and moving forward, because just everything as it is, it can be very hard to stay with a positive forward momentum with God when you feel like there's just this freight train holding you back. So together,
yes.
So, well, Father, I lift up this time. I lift up this group. I lift up everybody who couldn't be here to join us on this Zoom. Lord, every struggle, every victory, every thing that you're uncovering, we just thank you for being so involved in us and in our lives, and that you love us so intimately that you don't want us to remain in a place of pain or anger or bitterness or unforgiveness. So we once more just give ourselves to you. We lay ourselves on the altar. I thank you for these dear women. I speak your blessing and freedom from pain over Marty. I speak your blessing and continuing to unlock those areas where Annette feels stuck. Lord, may we just know you better, understand you more, hear your voice more clearly, and may our foundation be so solid in you that it is never shaken, no matter what the circumstances are. In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
And
Amen.
we'll get our yeah right now. Okay, I feel better.
Me too.
Thank you. Mwah, mwah. And we will be talking soon. And I do want to do another Zoom when all this is said and done.
Okay.
Probably, what would that be, like next Thursday? Well, we'll get to it, like the 29th or whenever that's going to be. I will set up another Zoom so we can kind of have a debrief, and you guys can help me iron out anything that needs ironing out, feedback, all that kind of stuff. So we'll be in touch, but never hesitate to call or text or anything.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Right.
Good to meet you, Marty.
Nice to meet you. I'm ready for my counseling session.
All right. I'm going to end this, and you guys are very loved, and we